A very good morning and a warm welcome, students, to the third chapter of English. That is chapter 1.3, The Pilgrim. It's a poem and is the part 1 video of the poem. Look at this picture, children. There are 3 travelers, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, these travelers are going to different religious places. They are known as pilgrims. The people who go to religious places are called as pilgrims. Alright? Now there's an activity for you. It's called Religious Places in India. Now look at the video and observe the religious places in India. I want you to write down the places you would like to visit from the video. And find out the location where this place is. Whichever you are choosing, find out the location. These are top 10 pilgrimage places in India. World famous Buddhist temple where the Buddha attained enlightenment. Number 9, Jagannath Puri Temple. Sri Jagannath is a Hindu temple and one of the 4 pilgrimage destinations for Hindu, Char Dham. Number 8, Amarnath Dham. An ice stagnite lingam found annually in the caves due to freezing of water during the month of Shravan. That's a beautiful place, right? Number 7, Shirdi. You all have heard of Shirdi. Sai Baba is a very popular saint worshipped by people of Hindu, Zoroastrian, Muslim all around the world. Number 6, Basilica of Bom. This is in Goa, children. It is the Church of Saint Francis, our patron saint. The World Heritage Monument is one of the older churches in India as well as in Goa. Golden Temple. This is Golden Temple or Harmandir Sahib is a prominent Gurudwara, one of the historical heritage monuments of India. Number 4, Ajmer Sharif. The Dargah of Moinuddin Chishti is situated in Ajmer and visited by Muslim pilgrims as well as Hindus and Sikhs. Number 3, Siddhivinayak Temple. You all have heard of Siddhivinayak Temple, right? The Siddhivinayak Temple, Ganpati Mandir, is the richest temples in Mumbai and one of them is in Maharashtra. Number 2, Vaishno Devi Temple. Vaishno Devi Temple is the second most visited religious place in India after the world famous Tirumala Venkateswara Temple. And lastly, number 1 is Tirumala Venkateswara. The world famous Tirumala Venkateswara Temple or Tirupati Balaji is a Hindu temple dedicated to God Vishnu. So from these 10 places, which one would you like to visit? I want to select the places whichever you want and note it down. Okay. Now it's time for a quiz. I know you like quizzes. Ready for this quiz, students? Click on the link which is in the description below. Here you can see it is educandy.com. This link is there in the description also below. So click on it and play the game. After playing the game, you send me a screenshot on Google Classroom. Let's go ahead. Now we come to the main part of the lesson. That is the poem reading. We'll be doing stanzas 1 and 2. Stanzas 1 and 2 will be doing in this part of the video. So we shall now watch, listen and read the first and second stanza of the poem. Okay, please pay good attention to it. This poem is written by an anonymous poet. That means we do not know who is the poet. Anonymous means a person who has not been identified. We do not know the poet's name. But it's a beautiful poem. You are going to love it, children. Please listen carefully.
So first we'll recite the poem and then we'll know about its paraphrase. The Pilgrim. A pilgrim going a lone highway came at evening cold and grey to a chasm deep and vast and wide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The chasm held no fear for him, but he paused when he reached the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. Old man said, a fellow pilgrim here, why waste your time in building here? Your journey ends with the close of the day. You never again will pass this way. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build ye here at eventide?
So children, this is the first and second stanzas. I hope you have understood. Now let's listen to the explanation of this part. We shall now watch the explanation. It's a very nice explanation, the first and second stanza of the poem. Also children, listen to the perfect voice modulation and pronunciation of the words by the teacher.
Hello everyone, let me welcome you to yet another lesson in English for Standard 8th from the virtual class. The name of the lesson is The Pilgrim. And let me reintroduce myself. My name is Shraddha Teacher and I will be teaching you English as well as social studies here through the virtual class. Okay, so now let us, without discussing too much about anything else, let us proceed now and let us talk about this particular poem. The name of the poem is The Pilgrim. So now, who are pilgrims? Let us look at the meaning of the name of the lesson. So pilgrims, children, are people who embark on a journey in order to fulfill some religious, you can say, customs. Okay, for example, here you can see people carrying the different kind of musical instruments, and they're carrying the tulsi plant or the basil plant, which is supposed to be the holy plant, and they are going to visit a kind of a temple, you can say, or to a holy place. Alright, so pilgrims are all these people. So they are not just tourists who go to see a place for the sake of entertainment, but they are a special kind of tourist who visit a place in order to follow some religious customs. Alright, so that is the meaning of the pilgrim. So all these people that you can see on the screen today, they are all pilgrims. Now let us look at the pilgrim in our poem today. So the pilgrim in our poem is an old man who has gone somewhere and now he is returning home. Okay, so this is the poem for us, and this poem is written by a person. They've written that it is anonymous. That means we do not know who is the poet of this particular work. Alright, so now as I proceed to read the poem and explain it to you, I will also try to show you some important or some relevant pictures along with it. So the pilgrim is the name of our poem. So the pilgrim going on a lone highway came at evening cold and grey to a chasm deep and vast and wide. The old man crossed place where there was a deep chasm. Now what is a chasm? Look at the image of the arrow on your screen, children. Can you see this particular image? Look at it carefully. What can you see? It is a chasm, isn't it? That is, it is a very deep place, and it is difficult for someone who doesn't have knowledge and doesn't have experience to cross this chasm. So what did the good man do? And it was twilight, dim also, that is, the light was also not very good. But this pilgrim, this old man, he was very experienced in going through that way again and again. So what did he do? He paused, he crossed the chasm, and he paused when he reached the other side, and then he decided that, come on now, let me build a bridge in order to cross this chasm, or in order to help others to cross this chasm. So that is the first few lines of the poem. Let's move on and see what happened later. So old man said, a fellow pilgrim near. So there was a young pilgrim, a fellow pilgrim who was traveling with him. He said, old man, why waste your time in building here? Okay, he's saying this is not your house, this is not the place where you live, and you're not going to stay here forever. So why are you wasting your time in building this bridge? Your journey ends with the close of the day. He's saying you're old, and very soon you will be leaving this world. The journey of your life will end. You will never pass this way again. You never again will pass this way. That is, you're never again going to come. You are not physically strong enough to go so far away again and come back. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build ye here at eventide? He's saying, why are you trying to build a bridge? Because this bridge is going to be of no use to you. Now children, you might have heard of a story where we hear that a lady was traveling in a bus, and as she was traveling along, she was eating some fruits, and she was throwing the seeds of the fruit along the way. And when someone questioned her, she said that I may never pass this way again, but these fruits or these trees, these seeds, they will grow into trees, and they will provide shade, they will provide, you can say, shelter for the birds, and also they will provide fruit also to the hungry. I may not be able to enjoy it, but someone who comes along the way might be able to. So the meaning of this particular poem also, children, is very close to that story. Okay? So now this young man, he's questioning this old man, and he's asking him, why are you wasting your time in building this bridge and all your efforts also?
So children, you have seen the video explanation of part 1. Alright? This is part 1 of the explanation. Now let's go ahead. Now we'll see the meanings. These are the meanings of stanzas 1 and 2. Pilgrim, highway, lone, chasm, span the tide, paused, yea, and eventide. The meanings are given here, and these are 2 stanzas of the poem. I want to look at it very closely, okay, and study it well. Thank you.